Good morning, dear students. Welcome back again with a new session of Science 2, lesson number 8, Useful and Harmful Microbes. Before that, we are going to have a basic knowledge. Microorganisms are the organisms which cannot be seen through the naked eyes. They can be unicellular, multicellular, or cell cluster. Now, this lesson comprises of both useful and harmful microorganisms. Today, we are going to only deal with the useful microorganisms. First of all, lactobacilli. How it is being found. Smear a drop of freshly prepared buttermilk chas, on a glass slide stained with the methylene blue and covered with the cover slip. Observe it under microscope. Blue rod-shaped moving lactobacilli are seen. Lactobacilli are anaerobic. Anaerobic implies they can survive in the absence of oxygen. Without They can produce energy without the use of oxygen. It helps to convert milk into yogurt. Yogurt in simple language called as curd. It also helps to convert lactose to lactic acid, which gives specific taste and decreases the pH of milk. This is coagulation of milk. The low pH destroys harmful microbes in the milk. The yogurt implies dahi and coagulation implies दूध का लेप, दूध को गाढ़ा करना, लेप तैयार करना. Rhizobium or symbiotic, or we call it as barter system in our language. Barter system, len den. Now, here plants and microorganisms, they share each other or help each other. How they are helping and why they are called as symbiosis, let's see. Take a plant of fenugreek groundnut or another bean and sterilize with 3 to 5% of solution of hydrogen peroxide. Keep it in 70% solution of ethyl alcohol for 4 to 5 minutes. Clean it with sterile water. Take a thin section of root nodules, stain with safranin, place it on a slide and cover it with a cover slip and observe it under microscope. Then we can see its feature as well as its uses. Rhizobia living in root nodules are seen. They supply nitrites, and amino acids to the plant, and in return, plant gives energy and production to these bacteria. This mutually beneficial relationship is called symbiosis. The plant does not have the ability to absorb the nitrogen from the atmosphere. So they give shelter to these bacteria so that they can convert this atmospheric nitrogen and provide the compounds of nitrogen to these plants. This is also called as nitrogen fixation. Rhizobia fix atmospheric nitrogen in soil in the form of nitrogen compounds. Beans and pulses are rich in protein due to rhizobia. That is the reason that leguminous crops and leftovers are dumped purposely in the soil to reduce the expenses of fertilizers, and it also helps farmers. Sorry, yes, am I correct? Now, further, another important one is yeast, which we are aware of it, yet we are using it. Let's see how yeast is available in the market. Yeast is eukaryotic. Nucleus has cover boundary, means cytoplasm and nucleus, they are isolated, separate, they are not mixed. Unicellular fungi with 1500 species in existence. So much variety is there. They show asexual reproduction called as budding. Means only one parent is sufficient for the reproduction. No gametes are involved. Yeast grows and multiplies very quickly due to the carbon compounds. In the process of obtaining nutrition, yeast cells convert the carbohydrates into alcohol and carbon dioxide. This process is called as fermentation. This yeast is also used in the preparation of bread and idlis also and dosa also. Antibiotics. Again, it's prepared from some bacteria, some useful bacteria. Now, first of all, we should know what is antibiotics. Carbon compounds absorbed from some bacteria and fungi for destroying or preventing the growth of harmful microorganisms are called as antibiotics. So, whatever harmful microorganisms are there in our body, in order to control them or kill them, we are using the antibiotics. Antibiotics mainly act against bacteria. Some antibiotics can destroy protozoa and some are useful against wide varieties of bacteria called as broad spectrum antibiotics. For example, ampicillin, amoxicillin, tetracycline. These are the common general names. With the different companies give different names. It is available in the market and it is used for the treatment. When a pathogen cannot be identified even though symptoms are visible, then broad spectrum antibiotics are used. Whenever pathogenic microorganisms is definitely known, then narrow spectrum antibiotics are used. For example, penicillin, gentamicin, etc. Now, penicillin. Penicillin is a group of antibiotics obtained from the fungus Penicillium, and it is used for controlling the infection caused by bacteria like Staphylococci, Clostridia, Streptococci, etc. Medicine containing penicillin are used for the treatment certain bacterial infections of ear, nose, throat, and skin, as well as disease like pneumonia and scarlet fever. So these are the uses of antibiotic penicillin. We have discussed about useful microorganisms, and next time we'll be discussing about harmful microorganisms. Till then, have a great day. Take care.